Every World Cup has that one team nobody believes in until it's too late. A tiny island nation with less than 1 million people now standing face to face with football giants. They don't have the history. They don't have the superstars. But what they do have might terrify the world. This is the unbelievable rise of Cape Verde. Located off the west coast of Africa, Cape Verde is one of the smallest nations ever dreaming of competing on football's biggest stage. A country built from volcanic islands, surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, and powered by passion. Football here isn't just a sport. It's hope. It's identity. It's survival. And now, the Blue Sharks are chasing history. For decades, Cape Verde were football outsiders. Nobody expected them to compete with African powerhouses like Nigeria, Senegal, Morocco, or Egypt. Their facilities were limited. Their budget was tiny, and many players had to leave the country just to chase professional football careers in Europe. But slowly, something started changing. Cape Verde stopped playing with fear, and the football world started paying attention. Cape Verde's biggest weapon isn't individual talent. It's the team itself. They play with intensity, discipline, aggression, and, unlike many smaller nations, they don't panic under pressure. Against bigger teams, they stay compact, absorb pressure, and strike with brutal counterattacks. This is the kind of football that creates World Cup nightmares. And then there are the players. Fast, physical, fearless. Many of them grew up in difficult conditions, fighting for opportunities overseas. That hunger shows every time they step onto the pitch. Some play across Europe. Some were ignored by bigger football nations. But together, they've built something special. A team with chemistry, pride, and absolutely nothing to lose. The scariest thing about underdog teams is confidence. Once they stop fearing the giants, anything becomes possible. Cape Verde already proved they can compete with stronger nations. They defend like warriors, fight for every ball, and punish mistakes instantly. In tournament football, that's deadly, because World Cups are not won by reputation. They're won by moments. For countries like Cape Verde, football means more. It's not about billion-dollar clubs or social media fame. It's about representing an entire people. Every tackle matters. Every goal matters. Every victory becomes national history. And that emotional energy can carry teams further than anyone expects. So the real question is, can Cape Verde actually shock the world? Realistically, winning the World Cup would be almost impossible. But making history, eliminating a giant nation, reaching the knockout stages, that's absolutely possible. And once an underdog reaches that stage, pressure completely changes. Suddenly, the favorite becomes afraid to lose. And that's when chaos begins. No matter what happens at the next World Cup, one thing is already clear. Cape Verde football is growing. More young talents are emerging. More players are reaching Europe. And the dream is becoming bigger every year. What once looked impossible now feels real. Football has always loved underdog stories. And maybe, just maybe, Cape Verde could become the next miracle. So, when the World Cup begins, don't underestimate the Blue Sharks. Because the smallest nations sometimes create the biggest moments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more football stories from around the world.